the cash spending is a big fixation of mine. 31st last year, 27th the 3 years prior. Have you been given assurances by Robert or others that you guys will have the freedom to spend this offseason to bring in talent and free agency?
We're bringing in talent 1,000%. So have a lot of cap space.
Love it.
And cash.
Yeah.
Ready to burn some cash.
So, obviously, they haven't burned cash. I alluded to earlier. That is just so – it's incredible. The Red Sox and the Patriots have recreated the ability to get self-inflicted wounds. The Patriots' offseason, for me, the sort of tenor and tone of my critique regarding their lack of urgency stems in large part from how Elliott Wolf and the front office began deriding the old way of doing business before their first offseason in charge ever really got off the ground. When Elliott Wolf met the media at the Combine saying we're going to change the vibes and collaborate and all this nonsense gobbledygook, that was what set the foundation for me to say they're more interested in how they appear than what they actually perform at.
Well, now they appear dumb, so they're making themselves go downward in both directions. Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, all you did was re-sign a bunch of guys from a 4-13 team and then add like Antonio Gibson instead of Ezekiel Elliott.
Right. You brought back a core from a team that lacked one. And so earlier in the show, we played it a couple times. Tom Curran ripped the Patriots' current standing and inability to land a receiver on the decision last offseason when Bill Belichick, who all of a sudden regained control of the roster, not in the draft, but he was able to get in and put the kibosh on Robert Kraft's desire to sign DeAndre Hopkins, something that Tom Curran didn't report at the time. Thank you to the listener who sent this to me. Tom Curran, the date of this story, May 30th, 2023. Headline, Curran, why DeAndre Hopkins may not be the right fit for the Patriots. Quote, he feels like a one-step-away piece that you would add at this juncture in early June and say, okay, this is the cog that's going to grease our wheels and move us through the playoffs. And I don't think the Patriots are at that point, unquote. Whoa. I hope you're getting free lunch at Red Robin every day, Tommy, because carrying the luggage this transparently is a bad look.
Well, here's where I'm confused is, like, we all see fans, and I would think that if the fans could see it, they see it, people in the building see it. Their two biggest needs on the offense, or three biggest needs on the offense right now, is quarterback. But I feel confident that they have a plan for quarterback. I feel like they're going to take a quarterback number 3 overall.
Can I quickly disagree? So whoever falls in their lap is who they want?
Well, no, I think that they feel pretty good about all three guys.
Okay.
So I feel like they feel good there, and they look and go, okay, if we get Drake May, we like him. If we get Jaden Daniels, we like him. It's probably a reach that we won't get Caleb Williams, but the other two guys we really like. So I feel like they have a plan there. And then the other thing is the wide receiver and I would say offensive tackle, or specifically left tackle. And I feel like everybody knows, like, those are the two positions they need to address. And if they're going to address the quarterback position in the draft, you should be addressing the wide receiver position in free agency with a guy that can come in and he could be your legitimate number one.
Right.
And then if you want to add another wide receiver in the draft, I'm cool with that. If you want to maybe even sign a guy in free agency, I know they signed this offensive lineman, maybe he's the left tackle, but it's not like a huge splash. But I feel like those are the two positions that, other than the quarterback, which I feel like they have a plan, we all can see. So if we can see it, why are you not actively doing things that would put you in position to make sure that you get those other guys, like the kid from Dallas? Why are you not active, the offensive tackle? Why are you not, is it Tyron Smith?
Right.
Why are you not actively like, okay, we could get him, he could shore up our left tackle position, and then Calvin Ridley, and now you look and you go, okay, they're doing some things. It just seems like they're in the Remember we used to say that the Patriots would always be in like the Walmart bargain bin?
Right.
That's what they're doing with players. They're, the defensive lineman that they signed, yeah, maybe he turns out to be a Lawrence Guy type of player. It's cool, but it's not like this big splash. Or a guy turns out to be like a Kyle Van Noy.
Right. But you can build on the periphery. You can get players that are excellent at specific tasks. You can be selective in free agency when you have a great quarterback and an all-time coach. The issue for the Patriots today is that we all know that the future of this organization will be dictated by the quarterback they take at 3. We all accept that. Mm-hmm. But the job of that person will be made far easier by decisions and investments you make today. If you spend on a tackle, if you spend on Ridley, that gives you far more flexibility in the draft to move around to target specific players that suit your needs instead of having to draft at need, having to draft and take a shot on guys because you have so many holes. And it's so enraging. I really don't know why, but I thought they were going to go all in this offseason because they had to restart after Bill left. And I guess I should have realized if they didn't after Tom, they wouldn't after Bill. But to see a team that's hallmark was not repeating mistakes, right? If it was do your job and don't do the wrong thing again. This organization appears to be dead set on not doing the right thing and being far more invested in documentaries that paint people in a bad light than doing something to make the team better in the future.
And the other frustrating part about all of this is that the NFL has proven to you, and you've seen it year in and year out, that all it takes is a few pieces you add to your team, and you completely flip what your team has become. Last year, you look at the Houston Texans. The year prior to that, I think they won 3 or 4 games. You look at the Cleveland Browns. Prior to that, they weren't a very good football team. You could see. You same with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They move on from Urban Meyer a few things. They become a playoff team. So you're in a league where if you just make a few moves and add a few pieces, you can easily, when I see people out and they're like, oh, this is going to be a 3 or 4 year build, I'm like, no, it don't need to be.
No,
it does not need to be a 3.
It can be, but it doesn't have to be. We always bring up the Texans, but you don't have to suck for 4 years to get good.